Yeah, we are obsessed with obsession, okay? Or at least I am. And we want to discuss Bear. When did he become the villain? He's not a victim. That's the first thing we're going to say. But when did he
At
become
all.
the villain in this movie? But before we get into that, please go watch this movie if you haven't. It's on Peacock. It's on YouTube. You can rent it or buy it. Great movie. You know, we're not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. We just want to share a movie that we really liked. And there will be spoilers in this video, so we want you guys to go see it before we start talking about things. So please go do that. You've been
Yes, you
warned.
care about that.
Yes.
Right.
Now, that being said, we want to discuss, when did Bear, the main character in this movie, when did he become the bad guy? And I'll let you take this away, and then we'll just discuss it from there.
Oh, I think as soon as he made the wish.
Okay.
Like, so I've seen people have varying like opinions on this, because there's those that come from the school of thought that he couldn't have known that the wishing willow was gonna work if he didn't believe in magic, and um he was just kind of doing it as a almost like a juvenile, that, why won't she like me, gee willikers, that type of thing. I don't buy into that. Like, I don't give him that much grace. I feel like as soon as he cracked that wishing willow, he subconsciously bought into the and hoped that it would work, regardless of what that would do to affect her.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, from that moment is when he became the villain,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
I think that, I think it's an interesting coincidence that he was called Bear throughout the movie, because if anyone doesn't remember, there was a whole discourse on TikTok about the man versus bear thing, and a lot of women said they would go with the bear. They don't know what they're gonna get with men, and so I thought that it was interesting. It was, a nice like play on that whole topic, even though I think you told me that that wasn't necessarily the intention, but it was a cool coincidence.
Yeah, he said, the Curry Barker said that that wasn't his intention, though he wished that he had thought about it, because he said that is kind of cool. He just wanted a name that people will remember, and him being called Bear, he thought was memorable. So.
Right. So for me, the minute he snapped that stupid fucking thing, that was it, because it didn't matter at that point. He wanted what he wanted. And he didn't wish for, a wish for confidence, or a wish for um Nikki to tell me how she truly feels about me. It was, I want her to love me more than anyone else. So that, yeah, I think at that point he was a villain. What do you think?
Okay, so I think my interpretation may be a little bit different, but I will say that you can tell that something is wrong with this kid from the beginning. When you have an animal that passes away, first off, you don't leave things out where they can eat them. Cats are smart; they're resilient creatures. They can open doors. They can do things. You'll see them sometimes fish out the little treat pockets and rip that open and stuff. There's no way a cat can open a bottle of pills. It's not possible. So that means that he either didn't clean the house, maybe who knows what happened to grandma, and she maybe left the pill bottle loose or something. It got knocked over and the cat got into it and passed away. So that's the first thing. He's negligent, and he left a dangerous substance around his animal that it could get into and harm it, right? The second thing is, I believe in, I believe that, when your cat passes, if you love that animal, you, just like anybody in your family, you gotta let them go out. You gotta put them to rest with some dignity. Putting the cat in the trash bag and throwing it in the garbage is gross to me. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that was.
I would never do that to one of my pets if I found that he passed away. I would, I'm not gonna go get like a tiny coffin or anything, but I might put him in a shoebox or something, and I would bury my cat outside in the yard or something, or something to that effect, or maybe have him cremated at a a vet or something, but I wouldn't just throw my cat in the trash, you know what I'm saying? Because I love my animals and stuff. So that showed you right there, something was definitely wrong with this kid.
Right.
Him
Yeah.
just well,
And
I shouldn't
that,
call him a kid, but
not to interject really quickly, I'm
mm,
sorry, but that kind of flew over my head because I don't have pets. I'm allergic, so
mhm,
I don't have any. And my man brought that up to me too. He's like, "Yeah, the cats just they don't really do that."
yeah,
So the fact that that cat had, like, either he was negligent or he did something on purpose to hurt the cat.
mhm.
But that was, he said, for him that was his first, like, yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He's
But it went
it
right
was
over my head because
yeah,
I don't have animals.
I think it was negligence because he don't seem to be like a sociopath, like he wanna hurt people, but a careless coward,
Mm,
yes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say that,
I, uh, I
I mean, yeah, well, we
I
could talk
think he
about
could be. He's just a coward.
it could
So
be, maybe.
there's that.
Also, him knowing nothing about the woman that he's infatuated with. Like, I can
Right.
understand that they were, like, in high school and they were in different classes. Like, I had that me thinking back, I mean, I was infatuated with this girl named Denise. I thought I
Hmm.
was in love with her too. She walked on the fucking the moon on for me, you know what I'm trying to say? But when I think about it, even now,
Hmm.
I didn't know anything about it. I just thought she was just really gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? I was just whatever
Hmm.
it was in my brain, it just she was making the synapses fire off and I was just in love with her. But I didn't know nothing now. But me being a fucking grown ass man, and if I like you, I'm gonna know stuff, you know? I'm just gonna pay attention
Right.
to what you like, what you don't like. You know, if I'm gonna even if I'm scared you just say no, I'm gonna make attempts to try to woo you somehow. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Right.
this
Right.
is a man that's over 21 and this is a so-called friend that was in school with him and all that and paid attention to him when nobody else would, but you don't know nothing about it. So that told
Yeah.
me another thing. I'm looking at this world like it's ours, right? And it didn't look like magical things were happening all the time in this world. This is just
Hmm.
like a one-off fluke. He just happened to go to a crystal store because she lost a crystal necklace. Instead of him being smart and actually buying her a crystal necklace, regardless of the type of crystal that he bought, because I think she would have just appreciated the mere fact that she lost her necklace and he got her another one. That would have been big points if he was smart. You know, he buys her a stupid little novelty gift, which shows you his selfishness there. He buys her something he wants. You know what
That
I'm
he
saying?
want, right.
Or he would
Right.
like instead of actually getting her crystal necklace.
Hmm.
This like I said, this world is, you know, it seems like it isn't anything magical going on. I don't think he could possibly know that breaking that would make her fall in love with him like that. Um, so I don't think I think he is the villain. I think he's complete and utterly the villain. When he started echoing to her some of the language that he used in the spell, and she echoed it back.
You love me more than anyone in the world?
Yes, more than anyone.
Then, you know, and he should have known
Hmm.
something was going on. How would he know about how to go about fixing that issue or how to, you know, specify that this happened? Because he looks it up online. He doesn't really get any definitive answers. He is complete and utterly 100% the villain when he calls customer service. And the guy tells him how everything works. And the guy asks him, "Do you want to cancel the wish?" And he goes, "No, can you just alter it?" Right there, told him, "I'm
Right.
fine with her free will being suppressed and her just being all up on me. I just want her to be a little less intense with it." That's
I
basically where
just
he was
need to be
going.
comfortable. Right.
Yeah, I don't care how she's feeling. I don't care what it's doing to her. I just need her to chill out. And then when he told her,
Do you want to talk to her? What? Who? You want to talk to her? Who is that? Nikki.
so I mean, he probably could have let him actually speak to her, so she could have told him what was going on with her. But he hung up the phone before he could even that to happen. So right
Yeah,
there,
he couldn't be
he
bothered.
he knew that what was going on was real. I mean, I know it probably
Hmm.
freaked him out. It would have freaked me out too. But he knew it was real. He knew that. Well, I think that he could have canceled it, but I think once the guy saw that he wanted to not do that, he was like, "Well, fuck it." You know what I'm saying? You're one of these people. I'm gonna let you sleep in the bed you let made. Like he said that. That's another thing also that the guy said to him. He's like, "Well,
Sounds to me like you have a moral obligation to be there for her.
That's when he's the villain right there, because he never tried to call back ever again, nothing. And he knows that at this point that this woman is her free will, or the free will version of her, is suffering in some hell, and he doesn't care. And he just goes back to kind of living life with her, knowing that this is what's going on. And then only time he starts crying about it not being real, not being fake, is when she embarrassed him in front of all of his friends, you know?
And it still was about him.
Yeah.
It still was, why can't you just love me? It was a very
That's when he was utterly irredeemable. Like, he was worse. He was worse than any villain in anything I could think of. At that point, when she's
yeah.
crying for him to kill her, she's letting him know. He finally get to talk to her. She peeked through and says,
Kill me, please.
and he's like,
What's so bad about being with me?
he doesn't care her suffering. He doesn't hear her cries for help. It's just a different spot, I guess, where I think this kid's weird. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just think I'm just thinking, if this had happened to me, how I would have felt, and what I would have done, and I know that I would feel horribly guilty. I'd be very sad. I wouldn't be worrying about me. I'd be trying to figure out how to fix her. You know what I'm saying? And undo what I did. I wouldn't be worrying about what's so wrong with being with me. You know what I'm saying? I never would want to have somebody hurting or suffering because I'm worried about my pleasure over theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah. I mean, and this goes into, I guess, the next thing that I wanted to talk about regarding Bear and the whole him and Nikki thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it highlighted for me how so many cases of abuse exist without any intervention, because although people could see that there was something wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
He essentially, I mean, this is through the wish, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Because even when she's suffering, he's like, well, why can't you just give me what I want? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What is there a problem with me that you just can't love me? And this speaks to like the male loneliness epidemic and all that shit that we keep hearing about. But also how these cases go without any intervention. Although people saw a problem was wrong with her, they still found a way to make her the villain. And I'm talking about within the characters themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Sarah was saying that she was lying and
well, Sarah was lusting after him.
Right, because of her own male center, like she wanted to be with him. So she couldn't see where there was something all out of character for Nikki that could.
Well, Ian was shaming him. He was saying, you taking advantage of her. You remember? Ian was like, you taking advantage of her.
Yeah, but now we know Ian was also cracking.
Yeah.
So part of that could have been his own selfish. Right.
Yeah, because he wasn't cracking no more, so he was upset. Yeah.
Exactly. And then it became still about her, because he was like, well, if it's real, y'all should be you can come to the boys not out, she can't.
Yeah.
Still making it about her, that she's the problem.
Yeah.
She's the obsessed one.
Yeah.
And it's like, none of y'all see a problem there? She was never like this with him. All of a sudden she's obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh, she's lying about her family. She must be up to something.
Yeah.
Never looking at it from any other perspective.
Yeah. You're right. The focus was completely on her. Yeah, you're right.
It was always on how she was the issue. And it went all the way to the extent that her life will be forever ruined, if not because of the inevitable aftermath of the bodies, surrounding her at this point, but just the psychological torment that she'll forever have to deal with.
Because some man trying to fulfill his needs with her body.
Right.
Yeah.
And every turn he had to do the right thing, he did the opposite. Every turn.
Yeah, so I don't understand how anybody could sit here and say that this guy was the victim in this situation. Every time this guy had the ability to maybe do something different, he cowered. Even at the end, when he finally decided, which it didn't even really at the end, it didn't matter. It was bodies piled up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But even him, he's like, screw it.
Even
Personally,
then,
even
right.
any coward out. Personally, I think he was going to take himself out. I think he was trying to take himself out, not to free her. I think he was trying to take himself out because he didn't want to face the consequences that was coming. That's what I think. But he couldn't even do that, right?
That's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was still, I mean, up until the end, you could see, that he was like, I could fix her. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I know that that's a joke online, but
Well, no, someone said
he
that to
was
me in somebody's
willing.
chat today when we was talking about this. It was a chick though, but she was like, I can fix Nikki. I was like, yeah, me too.
Even
Just
up until
joking.
the end, it was I could fix her. Until he just realized he couldn't, right?
Yeah, he was done. And he would have been in trouble too. His hands was on that body too. So I think he was trying to avoid jail personally.
But there was no point from, okay, fine, if you want to shoot him some bail with the wishing willow thing, he didn't know it was magic, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's take it a step further. When she kissed him, that would have been a good moment. All right, she said I was under the influence of something.
Mhm.
Still not right, but they were both drunk. Everybody been young and drunk. Even then, you were still wrong. But let's take it a step further. She starts acting obviously out of character, and you're still not putting two and two together.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't want to see something.
Let's go even
he just wanted
further than that.
be quiet
The
and be
phone call.
the good girlfriend,
So for me, right before the essay, when
there's evidence they may have been sleeping with each other before that.
Yeah,
Just that one scene was just
happened.
was jarring because of her facial expression and her crying. So yeah.
Right, but before that, he asked her something like,
You love me more than anyone in the world?
well, in that moment, that was when that should have been it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
I can kind of agree with that. Yeah.
like, if all these other things made you not so sure that it was the magic, at that point you should have at least been like, okay, something's clearly not right.
Yeah.
But his cowardice wouldn't let him do the right thing at any point of the game. And because of that, 4 lives are ruined. 3 are lost. Well, 4, essentially. Because who is she now after all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And it also highlights, that women are not protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even by other women. That's because even the nice guy, supposedly,
is
the bear, right? Yeah. Supposedly did nothing to protect this woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
All because he was infatuated with her, because like we've also highlighted, he knew nothing about her. Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. I think that's why
little.
That's why I think this movie kind of has been resonating with everybody, because I mean, this is like, I mean, we got like the horror of the substance, we got the horror of Speak No Evil. Like all of these cases are just like terrible, like fates for the people in them. This could be this year's like Get Out, because like being trapped in your body while other people are just having their way with it or doing whatever, it's just the worst possible fate that I could think of.
Listen,
like
we've all met a bear, whether it was a woman or a man. I've seen someone make the comparison to someone who is trapped by pregnancy in a place where abortion is illegal. And so now they're stuck in a marriage or stuck in a relationship with someone who is no good to them, no way out. And I was like, yeah, because then even if they complain, what would people tell them? Well, you should have closed your legs.
Yeah. I mean, messed up part is that in the real world, like you said, you get somebody who get trapped in a relationship through like pregnancy, physical, mental abuse. You could get someone that's trapped in sex work. You could just have somebody that gets pulled into some kind of slavery in another country where they got to deal with this stuff with some man that they don't want to be with, but they got to sit there and pretend to smile and be happy so they don't get hurt, while this dude is, punching on him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's like
Right.
that's one side of that horror, because that's kind of what's going on with Nikki, whether she's aware of it or not. You know what I'm saying? And which I think being
Right.
aware of it is even worse. But still, being stuck in some dark abyss would probably be just as torturous on your mind. Really, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not being able to sense, feel, hear, see, but you're still conscious. And then the other horror for me is, let's take all the magic out, and let's just say she's just a crazy
Right.
lady. That to me could, because look at that relationship just from that. I'm not blaming the woman for anything in this, but I'm just saying like the horror of it is like if you take the magic away, this could just be an insanely toxic relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it can, if you
Right.
think about it. It can just be an
Mm-hmm.
insanely toxic relationship. And she does things that we see a lot of people online or in real life do. Like, look, like whenever things don't go her way, what does she starts to manipulate, right? She emotionally manipulates, right? She'll start crying, right? Then when that if that doesn't work, then she'll move to sex or some kind
Mm-hmm.
of physical touch type thing. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of affection. She do affection and sex, and then if that doesn't work, then the violence comes. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's why I think this movie kind of hit me, because of those two horror things. Like the magic is cool, but it's just like which is a good MacGuffin, I guess, for the story. But like being trapped in something like this, or having someone that's just insane like this with you, is it's realistic, and it's like scary as shit. And I was talking to my friend, another friend, about this, and he said, I know how you feel. He said, because he said the type of horror that freaks me out is home invasion stuff. Because there's a movie called The Strangers, and I remember they asked in the end of the movie, they asked the people, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to us?" He said, "Because you were home."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if I think you are fond of the serial killer thing. There was a serial killer
Yeah.
back in the day. They asked him, "Why'd you kill everyone in the house?" He said, "Yeah, because they were home and the door was unlocked." So there's people out there like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's why I think
Yeah. The
this movie.
reality.
Yeah,
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 because we can take the magic out of it.
yeah. Two
But
terrifying
the
fates. you know.
right, you're right. If you're looking at it through the lens of the magic, in the sense of like her autonomy being removed and being take essentially taken advantage of,
Hmm.
there's that horror. And even if you remove the magic, it happens, right? Like
Hmm.
through whether emotional abuse, physical abuse, or what have you. But on the flip side, let's say there's no magic, there's no manipulation, and you just come across a very toxic individual and end up
Hmm.
in a relationship with them, then you also have that as well. Because, like you said,
We've
those
all
that's
known
what
people
happens.
that might be been in
They
something like that.
publicly humiliate you.
Uh-huh.
They emotionally abuse you. They fucking threaten self harm. They threaten to harm you. Like
Hmm.
then they reel you back in,
Yeah, yeah.
by
It's
feeling
crazy.
sorry for them. I think that's the dopest part about this movie, is that it does resonate in so many different ways with
Hmm.
so many people. But I think the message should be clear in this movie specifically. Bear is the villain.
Yes. Yes,
He's
he
not
is.
a victim at
He is
all.
not. And if you think that this man and don't get me wrong, it was, well, first off, the director did not want him to be the good guy, and you can tell, obviously, right? Like he did not want this
Right,
person to be the good guy.
right.
But I'm gonna say this: he does do a little bit of he does try to make you feel sorry for him though at first, you know. But he oh, I didn't tell you this little tidbit. So the reason why he only got $750,000 for the movie is because
Mm.
um the the person that the studio or whatever that offered him that much money, there was another one that said, I'll give you 2 million, do everything you want, but they wanted Bear to be the hero. So some studio wanted
Oh.
Nikki to be the actual villain. They wanted Bear to like try to actually stop it and fix this issue. Like, he didn't know this was gonna happen and blah blah. He wanted to fix the issue and be the hero to save the day. And Curry said, no, that's not the story I want to write. This is what I want to write. So that man took less than $1 million and made fucking gold. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because this is like a commentary. This movie is a commentary on social issues that we see, but done in a very clever way,
mm-hmm.
which is what Get Out was, right? Like Get
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
was social commentary, but done in like a very clever way. Same thing here. This
Mm-hmm.
is, this is highlighting like the male loneliness epidemic that we hear about a lot. The
Yeah.
good guy, or what we um how do you call, or people who or performative good guys, I should
Mm-hmm.
say, right? Like
Yeah.
abuse, the removal of autonomy of women.
Mm-hmm.
um it has all these like social, like, uh we call it like a through line,
Yeah.
but it's it's there, but it's just done with magic
Like the catalyst or
as
whatever.
how it's done, right?
Yeah. 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 And
Or how it's illustrated or demonstrated.
yeah,
Ah, damn, my words.
it's
Yeah,
all good. So I don't know. I think this is a good point to end.
yeah, we can end it
But
there.
I want to say something, because I know there a lot of people have been going at that reviewer that thought Bear was the victim, and all I'm gonna say is, if
You've
you
been
think,
lighting his ass up.
I know, and he deserves it. If you think this man is the victim, that says more about you than it does anybody else, and the women in your life should be
Yes,
scared and worried. Okay, if you think that
agreed.
this guy was a victim, when he literally did something that took someone's free will away and had him devoted to him to the point where they started murdering people, it was all his fault. If all he had to do was tell her, Nikki, I have feelings for you, and he could have went his way. The director even said it. The director thought that she had liked him, and the actress, in her interpretation of the script, thought that she liked him and would have gave him a chance. He could have been on cloud nine, but he was too much of a bitch to do it, and he decided to
Yeah,
enslave a woman to do it. So that guy who thinks that
yeah,
he's a victim, and if you think he's a victim, I don't know what to say to you. It's,
yeah. If your man thinks he's a victim, be you you should probably not want to be with
yeah,
that person
yeah.
anymore.
Grab your
If your brother
nearest
thinks
one
he's
wish
a
willow and
victim,
wish his
yeah.
ass into space. Anyways, y'all, hope y'all enjoyed this. Tell us what you think in the comments. And, hopefully,
Yes.
we'll be seeing you after you watch the back rooms.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Later.
There y'all.